Hey everybody, this is Ashley with Publish with Ashley, and I am so excited to be here. I am so sorry that I had to move my time from noon to 12:30, but it couldn't be avoided. So that's what happened today. So hopefully you guys got the news that I was moving from noon to 12:30, and maybe it's better for some of you. Anyway, I am so excited to be here today and talk about oh, wait, if you're new to my channel, I'm Ashley with Publish with Ashley, and this is my YouTube channel where I talk about publishing, making money online, publishing on Kindle Direct Publishing, and I also do publish printables on Etsy, and I've had some requests to go to kind of show some more of that. So I will be doing that in the future as well. The big thing I know you guys are excited about is my Q4 challenge. So that is going to start next week, the last week, I guess it's the very last week in August and the very first few days in September. So make sure to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss out on that. I'm going to have published videos out on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and it's going to be awesome. I'm kind of going to preview that in today's topic. So today's topic is I wanted to kind of expand your ideas of what Kindle Direct Publishing can be to make and create unique products that can sell for a lot, that can be unique, and that you don't have to worry as much about people copying and that sort of thing, because you just need to, there's so many things you can do with books. There's so many things you can do with publishing, and you just kind of need to expand your mindset of things you can do. So that's one of the things we're going to talk about. I have found, I want to call it niches, I guess, that you can kind of do something different. I wanted to show you what you can do with doing and kind of creating something unique and different, and then how to maybe use it to your advantage so that it's different than what everybody else out there is publishing. I'm always into coming up with creative and new ideas, and there is a market for it. And I'm going to show you that there is a market for almost anything if you can make it interesting and unique enough. Okay, so what is this? Let me share my screen. Okay, so this is, I was looking under kids' activity books, okay? And I was just looking under activity books or coloring books. And so this is kind of focused on the activity book niche, but I'm adding a different spin to it and giving you some thoughts and ways to kind of maybe do more than you think you can or you thought you could, because I think that's what's going to make people different, if they can create something interesting and unique and different. Okay, so here's what I was thinking about. So here's the Kids Super STEM activity, or STEAM activity book, which is science, technology, engineering, art, and math. Okay, so that's what STEAM is. There's also STEM, which doesn't include the art. And so what is really cool about this is doing really well. I actually looked these up last night. So, BSR changes hourly. But look at, this is an example of how to use A+ content and use it really, really well. And this is what I think you can do with these sorts of books and do in your A+ content marketing so that you have something different, unique. Okay, look, they're using color within their books. And I know you think, oh my gosh, I can't use color. Color is expensive. But that is not necessarily the case. If you were just using kind of color like this, you can use the standard color printing. And I wanted to show you this. It is at 80 pages and it is at 11,000. I'm going to show you a few examples of different ideas and things you can do and give you some really cool creative ideas that you can. So I'm calling this niche like creative and colorful, because I think you can do some interesting stuff with color that would make it different than everybody else's. And you just have to get a lot of different graphics and put them together, which I know seems like it's a lot of effort, but I think if you really, come up with 5 or 6 books that are kind of in a series and you create really good A+ content marketing, you can really sell these books. Here, I gotta go back to my chat so I can see your comments. Hey, everybody who's saying hey, from Mexico, another place, Washington, Mexico. That's so awesome. Thanks, everybody. Okay, let me go on to where I was talking about. So color, look how they're using not just a dot to dot, but they have some color in here. And these are pretty simple graphics, you know, but the use of color makes it different, unique. You can charge more too. All right, so let's talk about pricing and color. I want to kind of dissuade any of you from saying, oh, or I guess enlighten you, maybe instead of dissuade, enlighten you to that you can use color. Okay, so here I was thinking a great price point would be $9.99, which there are a few of these, and I'll show you, and like 80 pages, 70, 80 pages, right? So 80 pages at $9.99. The royalty for the standard color, so not the premium color, the standard color, which would be fine for a kid's activity book, is going to be $2.25 or $2.26. So that's not too bad. Now, here's the thing. You have to do something like this, it has to be pretty focused on something unique. It can't just be a generalized kids coloring book. That's why I kind of brought up this STEAM one first, because that's pretty specific. It's kids who are interested in engineering and science and math and art. And it's kind of a more focused thing, so people are willing to pay more. See, this is priced at $9.99. It has 80 pages, and the color it's really kind of that standard color. It's not the premium color, because let's be honest, they don't need to be premium color because the kid is going to color in this and draw all over it. So the parent just wants it to be color so it's interesting for the child. Okay, so let's look at a few more examples, and I'm going to show you some pricing and how you can make, you know, 500 or 700, all that. But you really got to look at how they've marketed these. And I think that's what's really important. If you want to make, you know, $500, $700, $1,000 a month with a book, you have to put in the effort to make that. It just can't be something you throw out there and cross your fingers and hope it works. If you're going to make a really good profit on these books, you have to put a lot of effort in. And I'm really a big believer in putting in the work and seeing really good results. Now, are you always going to make it a success? No. I have a few activity books. Let me give you an example. I spent about 2 weeks on each activity book. I made 5 of them, and one of them took off. Okay, one of the 5. But that one has been making $500 to $600 a month, and 1 month in summer, it made $1,000 because it was a summer type activity book. So I put in the work, and yes, 4 of them they still make money, but they didn't take off as well as the other one. But that's okay, because I kind of can see now it's been out about a year. The other ones are starting to do, you know, like $50 a month or $100 a month, which isn't as well as I thought it was going to do, but that's okay. It is building up steam. And now that we have this A+ content marketing, I'm going to try and do this, kind of these, like this. So I'm going to have the main book right here, and then kind of you could get these other books too and show this 3D mock-up of all the other books, so that I can try and build upon the one that is succeeding and show people that there's other books that they could get as well. So I think that's really important to do. All right, so let's go to this Ocean Animals one. It's a $7.99 one, so it's a little bit lower, and it's because it's more preschool and it's not quite as focused on something that is more niche specific, like STEAM or STEM, maybe something like entrepreneurs or something specific that children are interested in. It's kind of just ocean animals and preschool. But the same idea can be, you know, you can still do things like this. But look at this A+ content marketing. Isn't this awesome? Look, you could have, you know, your book, something pretty and fun like this. You can easily create on Canva, and then you just show a couple of pages out of your book. But look, their color. And I think that can distinguish your activity book from other people's, because you can find these little things and they could be black and white, but why not do them in color? With this standard color, you can really do a lot. Let's do the dinosaur activity book. Same thing, $8.54. It's actually on sale. Amazon put it on sale. It was $9.99. So you can charge that much for these books because they're in color. They're specific. And it's just making these mazes and dots. But look yet again at the A+ content marketing. They are selling their book. And that is what you need to do. That is what you need to do to make those $500, $700 a month. Okay, here's another one I thought I don't have an example of another one I had thought of, but I'll tell you about it. This one I thought was really a great idea. Fun to find books, or search and find, search the page, those sorts of things. So, I mean, this is so much fun with color. So let me show you the look inside with this. It's really simple in the sense that, yes, these would require a little bit of work. This one only has, I think, 48 pages. And so maybe you could do standard color on this. It wouldn't be as bright and fun, but I think that's okay for this type of book. But you can see it's just some sort of kid scene you could make. And then it's got the different little items that they're supposed to find within the scene. So this is for a younger crowd. My daughter, who's 7, loves these books. We do them every night. What she actually likes, and maybe you can incorporate this because she finds it really fun, is each page, her favorite thing is it has kind of a little, not a story, but some sort of description or poem. And then I read it as fast as I can. And the goal is for her to find the objects as fast as, like, can she beat me while I'm trying to read it? And she really has a good time looking for the stuff fast while I'm trying to read fast. And it's kind of silly. But that's the sort of thing you can possibly include, like right here. See, it says there's so much to see, but you could include like some, ideas for fun play with your child. And you can include things like that to give parents ideas. My kids love when I'm silly reading with them, and they really enjoy these types of books. All right, let's see who else we have. Beginners, how do you do coloring books and dot-to-dot things? Coloring books and dot-to-dots. It is a little bit more of an advanced skill. And coloring books, I do have a video on kind of how to take and make coloring books. But how to do dot-to-dot, I would actually, there's a few ways. You could do it manually. With some of these little ones, you could literally just erase the lines and then put your own dots and numbers. Or there is software that will do that as well. But to actually create a color page like this, you would just get a bunch of graphics. And then, like, I would actually do this with 2 ways. Like, see this one color? I would actually do a square, that color. I would do another, or rectangle, that color. So it's like the ceiling and the floor. And then I would just get lots of little items to stick around. So all these little graphics you can get from Creative Market, Creative Fabrica. I have a link to Creative Fabrica. They have a lot of freebies. Hungry JPEG has some freebies. You can get free graphics, but I'm always wary about free graphics. I like to buy mine so I know that I'm good. But if you are going to do free graphics, make sure you check them and do all your due diligence and make sure you're not that you can use them. But it's actually not too hard when you break it down. Like, these are just different elements you add. And it does take some practice to do this. But I'm actually going to do some more stuff, and I'll show you anyway. But we'll do more videos. That's kind of pretty darn advanced for this particular video. Okay. Will this be available for reply later? I'm at work, so it's hard to take. Oh, yeah. This will be on my YouTube channel. It's replayed, so you don't have to worry about taking notes. Okay, so here's what I wanted to show you. This last one, anything can be a niche. Okay. He sells, let's see, what is this BSR? This is funny. Now, it's a board book, and you can't do board books on KDP. It is $1,453 in the bookstore. Okay, and it is a board book, but I wanted to show you that anything can be a niche. Baby University Board Book, a science for toddlers board book, and it's about like quantum physics for babies. Okay, there's obviously an audience out here who wants to teach quantum physics for babies. I have no idea who these people are, but there's an audience. So there's kind of an audience that's big for anything. So it's just to show you that if you think a little bit differently or try something a little bit different, it could succeed, and it really could. You just don't know what you can do. But sometimes thinking a little outside the box and doing what's different than everybody else. I know everyone's saying, do coloring books. Well, I'm saying, hey, let's use color in unique ways to create activity books or books, search and find. Another one I thought of, how about pick a specific type of animal that someone likes fun facts on. So you can find a lot of free public domain pictures out for like sharks, or they wouldn't be pictures of dinosaurs, but you could find some artwork that is on public domain for dinosaurs, and you could do color things and do fun facts about dinosaurs or fun facts about sharks or fun facts about Arctic animals. Okay, there's audiences for all sorts of things. So you just have to kind of think a little bit outside the box and do something a little different. And yes, these books take more time, but I think that is what's going to make your stuff stand out, and that is what's going to make you the money that you really want to. Okay, and it builds up to these skills. Start small and then go to harder things. So here's the numbers. The STEM book was at rank 11,000, and number of sales per month per the TK. There's a few, if you just put BSR KDP calculators into Google, you'll find like 5 of them. Kindlepreneur is good. TDK has one, but they're all estimations, okay? But this one, so it's at 11,000 and about 338 per month. The royalty now, if we did a similar book with the same number of pages at that price, it would be $2.26. So their royalty is about $763 a month. The Ocean one, that one was ranked 1,274, a little over 1,800 sales, royalty about $1, and they made a little bit less than 2,000. The Dino one, 5,609 sales, $1.39 royalty, and 846. Fun to find. This one, like you could do, I think I priced this doing premium color, but let's say you did, and so that's why the royalty is low, but you could maybe do standard color instead of premium color. This is kind of I have 5 books that I have to make for Q4. And then I'm going to try and do books like this in this whole color activity niche, because I think these are great gift items. And they're not just gift items in the Christmas season, but they're gift items all year round for particular kids with particular interests. And that's the thing. I think you have to focus in on specific niches, activity books, think sports, baseball, soccer, kids who like planes, kids who like monster trucks, kids who like, STEM activities, engineering. Just think of all the niches in sports and things that are a little bit, it's not something you could buy at a store. If your kid is into koala bears, it's probably hard to find a koala bear activity book, okay? But on Amazon, they can look up, is there a koala bear activity book or a koala bear gift? They could find it that way. So you've got to think a little bit more specific, because people are willing to pay when it's more specific. And it's a good gift, right? A $10 gift for a kid who is, loves koala bears to death and gets a koala bear color activity book, like dream come true for the 7-year-old, right? So you've got to kind of think that way when you create your products to really make someone's day. Think of it as if you were giving the gift to somebody, and would it make that person, that child or that person or whoever, excited to receive it because it feels like it's just for them. That's all what niching down is about. It's making it feel like it's just for you and you couldn't find this anywhere else. And you want to ask the person, where did you get this? This is amazing. This is exactly what I've always wanted, right? And, if you're 7, you've always wanted everything. Anyway, okay, so there's the possibilities. You really can make this much per month with one book, but it takes the effort. You have to put in the work. You have to put in those really pretty A+ content marketing pages like this one. Let's see. I love this one because I think it's so bright and fun and colorful, and it shows examples of what types of pages are in there. And I think that's really great. Okay, so here's it's TCK. So this one is an Amazon book calculator, tckpublishing.com. Like I said, just type into Google BSR KDP calculator. It comes right up. And I actually use tangent templates to do the pricing. I was trying to look I could only find Amazon's old one because it didn't have the standard color. So I was annoyed and couldn't find a calculator. So I just used tangent templates, which I love. And tangent templates is a great product, but I use it a lot for stuff like this, the calculators, the listing helpers. I use a lot of the tools. So I really enjoy it. All right. Okay. Questions. Let me stop sharing my screen. Let me read my thing to see if this from Jamaica. Hello, someone from Jamaica. I saw you comment, and I think I just replied back to you today. Hello, Kim. Hello. Let's see. Yes, replay. Love kids book even as old as I am. You know, I'm an eternal kid. I think that's one of the reasons I have two best things, kids stuff, because I have 4 kids. And I'm a big kid. I remember as a kid getting a book about space, and I love space, you know, the galaxies, planets. That would be a great one too. Now that I'm thinking about this, space activity book, I would have loved that as a kid. I'm telling you, love space. And I remember getting books and it felt, you know, like me, and it was just a great gift for me. So that's the kind of thing I remember when I'm creating my products, so that I can have that same excitement when someone gets my book. Let's see. What else? Hello from Virginia. You know I'm in Virginia, Jacqueline. I live in Virginia. Well, at least currently. We're going to move again eventually. We're military. Get to pick up and move every few years. So we'll actually, in about a year, you will see a different background. All right. How many new books do I create on average for Q4? Okay, so I have decided let's see, 2 years ago, I did like 1,000 books, or not even 1,000. It was more like 500, and it was ridiculous. And I was a crazy person, and I think I made myself a little insane. Last year, I decided to reuse my covers for some planners, and then I do like 5 interiors, and then I just reused my covers and only had to change the year, and I republished those. And so that took me I would say about 6 hours of work to do that. And that was another 300 books, which sounds like a lot, but like I said, I'd already had the work done. I just kind of had to sit there and hit publish, you know, write all this stuff. And anyway, so it didn't take quite that much time. But they weren't really what sold a lot for me in Q4. I decided to focus on 6 really, what do I want to call them? Gift-oriented books. And each one took me about 2 weeks to do. They were focused at a very specific audience. And you would think it's really tiny. It's like a really tiny audience. There's like 1 million people in the world. Okay, so it's not a very big audience at all. And that is what made the most money for me when I decided to really focus down and create some super quality books. So for this Q4, I'm going to do some calendars and planners, because probably about 100 of them, just because I have all this stuff already made, and it honestly doesn't take me too long to get it just published. But I'm going to focus on, I have 6 specific books I'm going to make. And then I'm also going to make a 10 book set for my Q4 challenge, which I'm going to start next week. And the Q4 challenge, let me give you guys a little preview onto what that will be. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, there will be, so I don't think I'm going to do a live Wednesday. I think I'm just going to put up a video for this Q4 challenge, and it's going to break it up into 3 parts. And they're going to talk about, first, I'm going to talk about how to create this book set. Okay. And then the second one is going to talk about how I see you should, once you've created these books, you should do the A+ content marketing to really do what I said. You know how I showed you, like, this is what you want to do. So we're going to go through some examples. I'm going to show you how to create some of that material and how I see it, at least in my head. And then the third one, we're going to talk about Pinterest and how to pin those books and how to find your audience on Pinterest and try and focus people down. So that's kind of the 3. I went through what I really wanted to do on this and for this Q4 challenge, and it is a ridiculous amount of stuff. So I'm still deciding. I might do a paid course on branding, but it depends if I have time to do that, because I went through how I wanted to do that, and it was, it was quite comprehensive. So, and I just don't think that I can do in a free course for you in 1 week. So I'm going to try and see what I want to do. And I might do something in September, like a month-long course with 3 different videos a week, and then a live video each week. And I I'm hoping I'll have enough time to do that. It's kind of a lot of work. I kind of figured out how many hours it would take me, and it's like 100 to 150 hours to make all that work, which is quite a lot of hours. That's why I was like, I don't know. We'll see if I have time for that, because I may not. But the free stuff next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday with my Q4 challenge, and I will give you the what to do and kind of some how to do, because the how to do, there's a lot involved with that. And I'll see if I can create a paid course for that, just because it's going to take a long time to dump all the knowledge from my head out there into the world. Okay. How do I advertise to, let's see, wait, let me go back up. Simone says, as a child, my grandma would set off all the books. I would send out all the books from Canada. Oh yeah, I know. Don't you love getting them from different places and all the fun stuff? How do you advertise to very specific audiences? Okay, I'll get to that one. Hello, Sarah from Morocco. I've been to, well, have I been to Morocco? No, I wasn't. I was very close to it, but I haven't been there. Indie Publishing Designs. Sorry you missed the 25 minutes. Could you speak to which KDP ads to start with? Oh, things like, okay. All right, so let's go back to advertise to specific audiences. How do I advertise to specific audiences? Ads. And I know you think, oh, ads, they're expensive. But the more specific your audience is, the cheaper it is to advertise. The audience I have, that's like a million people. And that's like a million people in the world. That's not even people shopping on Amazon. I use very specific, I know the niche. So I know what phrases they're looking for and what, I want to say trending topics that are of their interest. And so I do manual ads that focus on those trending topics and trending phrases. And because they're so specific and so small, it's really cheap to advertise for that, because nobody is really advertising for those specific audiences, or and at least not many people are advertising. So when you focus down and you're really niche, your advertising actually becomes a lot cheaper because you just have less people to compete against. So that's kind of one of the wonderful benefits about really niching down and really understanding your target market. And then once your book starts to sell, you can kind of expand your keywords and expand who you're advertising to catch other groups that would still be interested in your product, but maybe it's not as focused. Like STEAM and STEM, maybe you're going engineering, right? So maybe you're looking for kids who really are interested in engineering. Then you can start targeting like STEAM and STEM once your book starts to sell, because Amazon knows that if people are purchasing it, they're willing to expand it out to people who, would still be in that same stream, and it'll get picked up better by the algorithm. So you're kind of training Amazon's algorithm who you want to show things to. And the manual ads are a really good way to do that. And then once your manual ads are running, Amazon's algorithm knows who to better to show it to for themselves. And so you'll get kind of better and higher search results that are organic. So once it's selling with ads, the organic sales tend to go up as well. So even I have some books that I've kept on ads for 2 years, because even though they only get me like 1 or 2 sales or 3 sales a month on the ad, I'm still getting a lot of organic sales. And I've noticed when I turn those ads off, the organic sales go away. So I just leave the ad on. It costs me $10 a month, but I'm fine with that because I make profit. Okay, so what do I use? Okay, so I have kind of everything. I have Bookable, I have Tangent, I have Publisher Rocket. It depends what you want to do, what you have need of. I have a video about the 7 free KDP tools, but the most things I use most often are probably Tangent templates, because I like to use a lot of their helpers. I use their pricing calculator. This more tools thing is awesome. There's so many things that it does for me. It will inspect your PDFs. It pulls things out as a PNG. There's a lot of neat things it does. And so I really like that. So I use Tangent templates a lot. I use PowerPoint. I know I'm not the Canva. I know how to use Canva, and I have used it for some of my books. And I even teach you guys how to use it because I do know how to use it, but I love PowerPoint. It is one of my best favorite tools for publishing because it actually really works well. And it's probably because I'm very familiar with PowerPoint. I've used it for 25 years, so I know how it works, but I've learned tricks and tips. So for me, PowerPoint is very, very powerful. Let's see other things. I use BookBolt for idea generation. I use, Publisher Rocket for my advertising words. I love Publisher Rocket for using my AMS ads because it gives me a lot of ideas that I wouldn't have had, but even I let it run and then I get the advertising ideas and then I have to use my brain to go through and see which ones are relevant because I always take out words or phrases that I think will not target me at the audience I'm looking at. So I use my brain. Yeah, brain is a powerful tool in this business, believe it or not. And I think, okay, who am I looking at? What do I want? Who would I want to see it? Who is most likely to buy it? That's always what I'm thinking about when I'm advertising. I don't just want to advertise to everybody. I want to advertise to the person that is most likely to purchase my product. And that is how you get cheaper advertising. Because if you know exactly who you're advertising to, there's less people competing for that exact, person avatar. Let's see. Is Publisher Rocket the one Keith Wheeler? I think he uses Publisher Rocket, but it's Chad Chesson. I don't remember his name, but if you haven't seen the Kindlepreneur, which is what the Publisher Rocket, you should go and read his blog. He has an excellent blog and he does a lot. He's very computer science oriented, writing code. He's all about A/B testing. He has some amazing blog posts. So Kindlepreneur, and look at his blog posts. I love reading I'm on his mailing list, so I get whenever his new blog post comes out, and he does a fantastic job of talking about different publisher data points. He doesn't just guess what Amazon is thinking. He does A/B studies. He puts code out in the world, and then Amazon will never tell you exactly what they do and why they do it, but you can he does a lot of observations and testing, and then he tells you his results. He tells you his biases. I mean, he's very analytical, and I love his blog. It's really great. Dave Chesson, there we are. Why did I have Chet? Probably because of the Chesson. Dave Chesson. Thank you, Sydney. But he's great. Kindlepreneur. Any other questions? Anyone have anything else for me? Let's see. I don't have anything else next week. Like I said, I don't think I'll be live. I think I'm going to do the 3 videos, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. They'll be on YouTube. The recordings, so no worries about, they'll come out probably around noon, maybe later if I'm desperately trying to get it done. But Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And it's going to be 3 Q4 challenge. I'm super excited about this. I think it's a very different way at looking at publishing, but I think it's the right way to look at publishing. Instead of that whole throw spaghetti at the wall method, this is really intended to focus even beginners down, because I think learning to focus around this kind of mentality of looking at an audience and who you want to buy your product is going to help you so that you can shape your products so that they are for the audience you intend them to be. And then, your audience will like it because you focused on them, not on what you thought you should do. You focused on what they need and what they want. And so it's kind of a very different approach to, I think, what most low content publishers are publishing and saying you should do. But I think it's the right approach to create a long-term business. And I know in my own experience, when I focused down and came up with who is my avatar, who do I want to sell this product to, I had so much better results. And I just, so I wanted to kind of share that with you and kind of how I'm going to move forward now that we have this access to the A+ content marketing, because I think it's so powerful. But you need to do it right. And I'm going to kind of try and help and show you that. All right. No questions. I'm so glad that it was good information for you all. Let's see. Category selections. Okay, no, is category selections one of the most important things? No. Is it important? It can be. Category selections, I know there are people out there saying that you should just stick it in any category. Please don't do that. Eventually, Amazon will find you and kick you off the platform because you are abusing it. They don't make rules until people start to abuse things. And when people abuse things, they start kicking people off because they're doing things that's kind of outside what they intended. So yes, put your products in categories that they would relate to. But don't throw your children's activity book that's focused on dinosaurs into something about quantum physics. Okay, don't do it. Just focus on things that would make sense. Yeah, I don't think putting it in fictional dinosaur stories is bad because, it is a dinosaur book and it's an activity book. So yeah, it's kind of fictional. But, so that's still, I think, on the right vein. If someone was looking for a dinosaur book, still, it's in the right place. But don't try and throw your book into things that make no sense, because I think eventually Amazon will come find you. Now, Amazon does. Now, sometimes you see books in weird categories, and that was intentional on the publisher's part. But sometimes it isn't, because Amazon sometimes occasionally throws your book into some category. I think my one of my favorite examples is I did a book about sperm whales. And I've had this one was funny because it just went into so many wrong things. Sperm whales, right? Okay. Very benign topic, but it went into some very bad category, or not bad, but definitely not the right category. So occasionally Amazon's computer gets it wrong. I had problems with ads with that. I had a lot of problems with that book. But it wasn't quite what the algorithm thought it was, apparently. So, occasionally the algorithm does weird things that don't necessarily make sense. In my case, that one totally made sense, and I realized it afterwards and had a good laugh. But there's other things that just don't make sense because it is a computer program. All right. Oh, can you make matching stationery without duplicate? You can. And I think that would be good if you have an outside marketing tool. So if you have like a Pinterest account and you're doing, let's say, wedding books. Let's say you were doing kind of a whole wedding ensemble. You had a wedding guest book. You had stationery that they could, as wedding gifts that they could give to the guests. Could you do that sort of thing and then advertise it on Pinterest? Yes, because I think you're advertising it as a whole, right? And it doesn't feel like you're spamming the Amazon platform. So I think if you're doing it intentionally with the intention to market it as a whole product line to a particular audience, I think, yes, you can do that because you're doing it with the right intent. You're not trying to spam the Amazon marketplace. You are trying to focus a line of products on a specific audience. And I think that would be appreciated. You see that in Etsy a lot. You see people have printables that they sell as individuals, and then they sell as a whole pack. And I think that's kind of the same thing. You could definitely do something like that because you're thinking for the customer, not just throwing stuff out there randomly. And that's a very different intent. Okay. What about advertising for specific audience? I actually talked about that earlier. So it's advertising for a specific audience. I like ads and I use them. You can do Pinterest as well. That's free. But I like ads because if you're advertising to a specific audience, the Amazon advertising ads, not too expensive. I can get mine down to 10 cents per click and do very, very, very well. Because I know exactly what my specific audience is looking for. And, that takes a little bit of creativity. It's not easy, but it can be done. All right. Oh, if it's a composition book, what category? I always do kind of what's related to the cover. And if I can't come up with what's related to the cover, I think I put like office supplies or something like that. Because I don't know what else to put it for. But if it's like planets on it or dinosaurs or unicorns, I try and aim at one of those topics. But otherwise, I just put it in another category that makes sense, like office supplies, because the composition notebook is kind of that. Anyway. All right, I should go because I've got some stuff this afternoon. Thank you so much for being here. If you have not, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have lots of info in the show notes. I have my Facebook group. Thank you for being here. I'm so excited to answer all your guys' questions. And I'm trying to, there's only one me though, so I'm doing the best I can, but I so appreciate you guys and being here. So thank you so much. And I will have my 3 videos out next week, so I won't see you live, but I will be here next week. So I'll talk to you all then. Okay, bye.